on your physical muscle mass and stuff like that.
Yeah, no worries. A reasonable question, probably ones everyone's asked about, but no one's asked this before, but everyone's got this question. So no, it's going to largely affect your energy unless it's hiring you out / you're doing it instead of actually training. So no, it's not going to have a negative effect in that way. Make sure you're eating well around it, but no, it's not going to make a problem. It's not actually going to affect your physical gains unless you do this instead of eating or training hard. So no, nothing to worry about that.
Right, thank you so much. That was it.
Welcome, man. Thank you.
Perfect, dude. Thank you very much for the question. Feel free to stay to the very end. Yeah. Also, a very interesting question as well, mate. I know a lot of people are thinking it, but no one is brave enough to ask it. So
Yeah, I know.
asking it for everyone. It would be nice if I started streaming before you started asking it, but it is what it is, right? So guys, feel free to raise your hands if you've got any other questions. We are welcoming all questions. Don't be shy. I'm certain there's going to be a bunch of people who've got questions to ask. Chris, feel free to introduce yourself to people who don't know you.
No worries. Hi, friends. I'm Chris. If you know me or not, I've been a personal trainer, fully online now. I've been training people for over 10 years. I've been training on for 15 years myself. I help people with all sorts of experience getting to training or to improve their training, talking about workout routine, exercise, nutrition, sleep, recovery, all things like that. I mostly work with people coming from gaming at the moment, getting gamers into fitness, improving their health. Any question, big or small? If you think it's too small, someone's going to have the question and will have wished you asked it anyway. Something is a stupid question. It's better to ask it now in a safe and supportive environment with an expert rather than have these concerns and worry about them for the rest of your training. So any questions, let me know. Heard it all before. Nothing's too small, nothing's too stupid to ask. I can see you loading again. I swear.
Hello, up there. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah. Since I have the opportunity to ask another question, then I will. So, right now, one of my goals concerning like going to the gym and stuff like that is to work out upper my upper body, like chest and my arms. So, I don't have the funds like to get a personal trainer. So, what would you say? Like, I should like, what type of exercises would you say I should focus on? Because I want to build up my chest and my shoulders and arms. So what basic exercise would you recommend?
Of course. So I'm sure we have a routines command in the fitness section, but basically you want to hit your body with upper body or chest, shoulders, all sorts of pressing movements. So you have a horizontal pressing movement. So it can be with a barbell or it can be on like a machine. So pushing away from your body, it's important for your chest development and your triceps. So that can be with dumbbells, it can be with a barbell or just with a press machine. I also recommend doing some vertical pushing. So pushing over your head. Again, it can be with a machine, it can be with dumbbells or a barbell. And also for chest, you want sort of incline in between. So the in-between angle, pressing. So those are the basic things for building your upper body for strength-wise. So you get stronger on those over time, do sets of say 5 to 10, do 2 or 3 sets of those. And then we want to move into more isolation exercises. So before I said pushing movements are basically compounds because they're using more than one muscle at a time. So when you're pushing away from your body, using your chest, using your shoulders and your triceps. Some isolation as well, which can be like a bicep curl just in your biceps and a tricep extension using just your triceps. So that's going to be for your chest and your shoulders and your back of your arms, your tricep pressing movements. Then you want to have a pulling movement, which is going to work on your back as well, because you don't want to have just a strong chest, you want to have a strong back for good posture as well. So pulling movement, so the opposite, pulling things to your chest and pulling your weight to your down horizontal vertically, or pulling yourself to a bar, for example. So lat pull down or a chin up. So they should cover all your bases. But again, if you go into fitness and put in routines, there's already lots of pre-built routines that get you started straight away. Does that make any sense? Any other? Oh, hopefully.
By the way, up there, if you do want to get, so for example, if anything was explained and you didn't get it the first time round, don't be shy. You can always ask follow-up questions. We do appreciate it, and we're welcoming more people to ask questions. So anyone, if you do have your questions, we're also going to be accepting text questions towards the very end. We would much appreciate voice-based questions because it makes good for podcasts, and also there is going to be a VOD of the stream that can help everyone in the long term, even yourself, in case you missed something and anything was gone over really fast. So don't be shy. Feel free to raise your hands if you've got any questions. If you've got more questions, utilize. This is basically free access to a dedicated personal trainer with over a decade years worth of experience. Most people will pay for this type of services, and you can get it completely for free. So no question is too little. If you're a beginner, feel free to ask. If you're an expert, but you want a better understanding or to go over like a debate, we've had a few people who are also personal trainers join up and ask questions just to clarify things and get new ideas. You're also welcome to do that. So if no one's doing that, Chris, can you see the screen share from the effective? Is this one of those situations where is it a you issue? Can everybody see the screen share? I'll quickly stop screen sharing and share again.
Okay, can't say you can see it. Can't see it. So maybe me. All right, I'll leave and come back. All right.
Okay. While he's coming back, guys, feel free to raise your hands if you've got any questions. You can use text. Neil, welcome, dude. How are you doing? Yeah, guys, Chris isn't here.
I'm doing very well. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm doing very well. I'm from India.
Neil, we're not taking questions at the moment. We're just going to be trash talking Chris. We don't know why he's in. Oh, crap. Oh, Chris, no, he's here. Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. Hey, friend. How you doing? No, I'm just kidding, Neil.
Really
Sorry to interrupt you. Feel free to ask your question, Neil.
That's fine. Yeah. So I've been doing calisthenics for a while now, and the thing is, I'm progressing by teaching myself how to do the exercises. So can you provide any insights in this journey to learn the exercise in a better manner? Can you help me with that?
Okay, so if you're completely self-taught, that's cool, first of all. I would recommend checking out Hampton's Fitness. What's his channel called, Ayo?
Hybrid calisthenics.
Can you repeat the instruction? I didn't quite get it. Okay, yeah.
Hybrid
calisthenics. Discord server, yeah.
Yeah, he's also in this server as well. So
Yep.
he might get annoyed if he's spamming with DMs, but just ask for permission first. He does have a lot. He basically has a thorough guide on starting off, calisthenics and bodyweight training from home with no equipment, or even just using stuff you have at the park or whatever. And I think there is a command, is it like home workout or something like that, or calisthenics? I think if the exclamation mark calisthenics in the server.
Okay, so I guess that's interesting. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's interesting, but my main focus is not on the resources. My main focus is on how do you I know the way to learn it. I'm just asking for insights. If you have done it, what are the realizations you had, and then what made you learn it faster? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, good question. So, Ayo, you may be better to qualify for this one for me because you're more of a calisthenics champion than I am. But generally, so I'll pretty quickly, and Ayo can give you a better answer. I find the most important thing is to practice when you're fresh. Don't go too much to exhaustion. And when you're trying a new movement, try to count your progress in seconds of time as you go. So say you want to work on holding a tuck punch, for example, rather than just try to do super long sets, try to do short sets, have a rest in between and add up the total seconds, and then use that as a marker of progress, and then move on to a more complex movement. So I guess perhaps try to accumulate 30 seconds of holding the tuck punch, and then move on to a more complex movement like that. So that's the best way to do it, I find, is to really drill in a certain level and then slowly move on. Add up the seconds.
Yeah, I got the direction you're speaking.
Make sure you
Right. Okay. Another question. That definitely helped. Okay. Another question is, calisthenics. I've been doing this for 2 years now, and then I want to do marathon. I want to enter running marathon. Right, and I've been and one thing I learned from this self-taught journey in calisthenics is I want to connect with people who are following the same resource. How do I do that?
to connect with other people who want to get running.
Not like, okay, I can meet a lot of people who are running, but then I want to meet the people who are actually following the same resource as I am. I mean, the book, I learned from book, right? So I want to meet the people or connect with the people who are actually learning from those books itself. Like, if that makes sense.
Okay. I see. So what I would do in a situation is go to running communities and try to find people, ask the explicit question, maybe on Reddit, maybe on Discord, maybe somewhere else, and just
Yep,
ask
I've
who
tried
else is
that.
using
Yeah.
this resource, and hopefully you can.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
In that case, what I would do, if it's from a actual book, you could maybe look for reviews of the book and maybe try to connect people within the book reviews. That's what I try to do. So people who write reviews of the books, you can
Interesting.
then find
Great,
it from
great,
there.
great.
That or go to YouTube. I
Very.
would search the book on YouTube and find people, generally someone done a video on or a review, and you can find people in the comments or the actual maker of the video there. Those is what I would do.
Brilliant.
Hope that's
Okay,
cool.
I could not think of that. That's brilliant. Yep.
Awesome.
That's it, man. Those were my two questions which I was desperate of finding answers to. I get the second one helped a lot.
That's
Let you
awesome.
know
I'm
how
glad.
it
Thank you
worked.
for asking the questions. Yeah, please do. Keep me up
Yep.
to date.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Neil. Really do appreciate you, dude. Feel free to stay in the audience. If you do have any more questions, feel free to ask. If you're not sure about anything, there is a VOD of the stream. So if you need to get better clarification, and I'm certain you're probably going to learn something as you listen along. Our next person is Mystic. How are you doing, dude? Feel free to ask your question. And I love how we say dude. If it's like a guy, I really do apologize. Well, if it's a girl, I mean, dude is a guy. Hey, Mystic, how you doing, buddy? I'll probably start saying
Hey,
pal.
what's up?
How you doing? And let's just
Yeah, I'm
clarify,
a guy.
you're not a girl, and I didn't just mistakenly say dude.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. How you doing, mate?
All right. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm good. I'm at the gym.
Nice.
Yeah, I had to do I had to do some, not so heavy stuff today because I kind of hurt my shoulder back at home while stretching. So that was like my first question. What should I do if I hurt a place and should I do you know, should I do lifting but not so heavy? But should I not do anything with it at all? And will it fix itself? So I want to ask about that. What's your recommendation?
Sure. So first of all, not a doctor, not medical advice, but generally you need to figure out if it's a actual pain and it's damaged or it's slight strain and it's going to recover. So if it's a sharp pain when you do any movement, if you move it sharp pain in the joint, I would say rest it completely. I'd also say try things like ice and anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, things like that. If it's only very slight, I would just try to move it gently, find a range of motion that avoid that for now. In the gym, if it hurts and it's injured, I wouldn't train it. But if you have a little just bit of discomfort, I would switch to safer exercises. By safer, I mean more stable. So rather than say doing a barbell row, you could do a seated row with a machine or with a cable, something that's going to you control it and muscles around it. So if it's hurt, I would say at least the first day or two, give it a rest. Try to avoid using it, and then it's your best judgment. If it's not better after a week, I would say go to a physiotherapist or something like that. But generally, that's how I would approach that situation.
All right. Thank you. And my second question is, I want to ask, I see a bit of difference between, let's say, the last month on 15th. I had a picture that when my shoulders were really big, and that's when I was using some protein, during some days, and then I completely stopped it. And right now, I don't see my muscles still pumped. So was it helping? Should I keep using that because I stopped it? Or what should I do with that? Does it have an effect, much of an effect on muscles?
So you're taking protein?
No, I used to take protein last month, and I took a look at the picture and I saw my muscles pumped more than it is right now. So I was really debating within myself if that helped or not. Yeah.
Okay, so protein itself is important for building muscle, but it's not going to pump up your muscles more. So that's more like if you do that's more likely to be due to, say, your carb intake or how much water you're drinking. And also, a lot of it's going to be when you took the photo. So obviously, if you take a photo after you've got a good pump in the gym and good lighting, you're going to look much bigger. So I'd rule that out first. So if that's a different condition, make sure the picture's taken in the same condition to compare it to now. So again, protein's not going to pump your muscles up more. It's going to help you build muscle, but it's also not going to be a big burst very quickly over a month, for example. So I don't think it'd be due to the protein unless your diet is very low in protein. It's not going to make a huge difference in pump of the muscle. So I would look at the angle of the photo, the conditions. That's more likely to affect how it looks than just the protein itself. Over a month, you're not going to lose or gain a massive amount of muscle. So it's not going to be due to that. So you can keep taking the protein or take it again if you want, but if your diet is deficient in protein. So if you're already getting enough in your diet, you don't need it. If you want to take the additional one, that's not going to hurt. It won't make a massive
All
visual
right.
difference in a month, is what I'm saying.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for helping me.
You're welcome. Thank you for the questions. Any more, hit me up.
No, that was everything. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mystic. Really do appreciate it. Quick question: is this your first podcast attendance? It's the first time I'm seeing you, mate.
Oh yeah. It is. I actually would love to stay longer, but I'm at the gym and I gotta work
worries.
out.
I
So
understand.
I just want to
I
ask my
understand.
questions. Hope that's fine. But
That's
I'll
absolutely
definitely attend the
perfect.
next one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, keeping you
Thank
on
you,
that
guys.
promise, and if you don't turn up, I am going to ban you. Thank you very much, mate. I'm moving you to the
Okay.
audience. And that was a joke if you didn't get my sense of humor, just in case, right? Guys, feel free to raise your hand to ask a question. Anyone else? Do you have any other questions? There was someone who had their hand raised but put it down halfway through. Don't be shy. We will get to text questions towards the end. We're potentially going to be segueing to forum questions. And Chris, you were chuckling.
Sorry, I saw Vez's question in the chat. That's all.
You want to answer it quickly while it's still in your mind?
The question is necessary for a fat ass to need a coach.
Oh, okay. Well,
So does anyone need a coach? I would say no one needs a coach. That most people would benefit from a coach, and I would also say the best time to have a coach is the beginning of learning to lift or when you've hit a plateau.
also,
So
if
no
you've
one
got a
needs it at any
competition
point,
as
but if
well.
it's important to you,
Yeah, I'll probably also
Yes,
say also
yeah,
if you're
for competing, yeah.
competing.
So generally, you always need a coach. What you're saying, Eric? What you're trying to say?
Nah, if you're a lifetime casual and you do it for like mental health or just generally, or just want to do something to keep yourself, motivated, in shape, or healthy, you don't necessarily would need a coach. But I would say if you're someone, like you
I
said,
meant to say
beginner.
yes.
Oh, I meant to say, oh yeah, sorry. Oh yeah. Yes, you're always meant to need a coach. For those of you who don't know, it is in Strike First. It is in Strike Force. It is Strength First. Make sure to check out Chris on all platforms. As he's supporting us, let's support him as well. STR Chris, or STR First. Wait, no, STR. What was it again? STR First or STR Strength? I've confused myself with the
STR
freaking.
First.
Yeah. You should claim all
STR
the
First.
domains for like STR Chris, STR First, etc.
Yeah, I know. Just in case.
Can you see the screen now, by the way? Guys, if you do have any questions, you can type it in text. Are you muted? There's no Bez, you're not
I can see your
muted.
messages.
Did you want to come up to the panel to ask a question? You'd have to raise your hand. If there's anyone who's struggling to work Discord and doesn't know how to raise your hand, I can just invite you. Is that what you're referring to? I would invite you, Vez, just in case that's what you meant. By the way, Chris, can you see the screen? We've got a really good one.
I can't see it.
You still can't see it. Wait, let me just stop screen sharing and
link me up. Just link me up.
Okay. I'll send you. So this is the poster we're looking at. And it's going to be a form review. You might have to extra zoom on this. Well, let me just also click on it so people on the stream can see it.
If I click on this, am I still able to speak? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear you?
Okay, sweet. Okay.
Can you see it?
This is not very clear, is it?
Yeah, it's a bit blurry when I zoom in as well. Let me see if they took a better screenshot.
So we're doing powerlifting here, are we? Looks to be the plan.
Oh, they took a better screenshot in the comments below. Or is it different? Yeah, I
Alright,
still have to
I may
zoom
try
in
to see it
on
on my
this
phone,
one.
maybe easier.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go back to here and I'll try and see it from the phone, maybe.
Okay. While Chris is doing that, guys, if you do want to catch the VOD of the podcast, feel free to tune in on twitch.tv/AOKing and make sure to support Chris on all platforms. STR first. Remember, it is in strength first. It is in strike first. It is strength first. Wait, what did I say first? Did I say it's in strength first? You just freaking bailed me out. Guys, I'm gonna get that poem right one day. And this is free marketing promo that I am giving Chris, and I don't know why he keeps laughing in the background. But yeah, so in case I butchered that, here are the links to make things all easier for you guys. While Chris is trying to get the form, I'm just gonna keep the
I'm gonna go
podcast
onto
going.
the
By the
I'm
way,
gonna go
you
onto the
stopped. You
Twitch so I can watch it on there instead.
wait, no. Just check the screen share. Can't you see it on the screen share from?
I can see it now. It's works now. It's works now. Brilliant.
Perfect.
There
And now we
go.
can't see your video. Technical
Oh,
difficulties.
you're missing out.
Okay. Just onshare it. Ooh, Cookie has a question. We'll get to that quickly. Hey, Cookie. Hey, cousin. How you doing?
How's that? Can you see me now?
You gonna ask a question? No, we still can't see you. Well, I can't see you. Can you guys see him?
Can you hear me?
Yo,
Yo, dude. How you doing?
special announcement, everybody. Special announcement. It's somebody's birthday today.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I want to say a special happy birthday to the owner of this server.
Okay. Thank you.
And I
Alright.
appreciate all your hard work. And you too, Chris. Keep it up, man.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. Fun fact: that's my cousin. He's also called Ayo as well. But I think middle name. I'm not too certain. Scrap that part. Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Chris, are you here?
Yep.
Call in for Chris. We still can't see you. I'll probably say just quickly leave the podcast and join back in.
Yeah.
Cool. How's everyone else's day going while we're waiting for Chris? Any suggestions on how we can fix this camera? And no suggestions such as plug it in, or plug it out and plug it back in, because I mean it could probably work. I mean, I did kind of like suggest the same thing by saying rejoin the Discord, so that's like a digital equivalent.
Are we here? Can I be seen?
No, we'll just keep the podcast rolling. It's still turn it off and turn it
It's
back
cool.
on.
I can see that though. I can see it's fine. I can see the actual screenshot.
Oh yeah, we
Okay,
can see
cool.
you. Yeah, it's a miracle, but it's frozen. But it's all right. It's still a miracle. Can you see the?
It's fine. It's a
workout?
lovely freeze. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see.
I should probably, you know what would have been easier if I just literally had done this, right? But you know, it is what it is. We're living with that. So this is the.
We don't do things either.
This is the routine, and then this is the context of the conversation. Seems to already having a conversation with Paragon. I don't know if it is powerlifting specific, but yeah, just to get your insight on this workout, and this seems
sure.
to be something that people
Okay.
always like.
Right, so we'll look at the first week. So based on the basic exercises, we're looking very powerlifty here. We're doing squats, bench press, deadlifts, all that jazz. But we are doing lots of variations here, so that's interesting. We're doing 4 days a week by the looks of it. So it looks like it's got prescribed lifts for the big lifts, we'll call them the main lifts, and then accessories are additional ones. So that's a bit of a jungle there. It could be all sorts of stuff there, so I'm not going to speak on that. But for squats, we're doing 10 reps per. This looks very RPE / rate of perceived effort windowing. So that's a bit strange to powerlifting, because generally powerlifting, you'll have a much more rigid, say, this set you do 5 reps, this set you do 3. So this is giving more of a window. It isn't a bad thing, but it is a bit odd for powerlifting in my experience. So day 1, we're doing squat. I presume those are pounds. 10 reps. We do rep out to target. So we're aiming. Okay, so I'm going to try to interpret. It says reps per normal set, and then it says rep out target. And at the top it also says reps on last set. So I'm guessing we're going to aim for 10 reps for most sets, and then for the last set we're going to try to rep it out and aim for 12. That's my interpretation of this. So we're going to try and do 3 sets of 10 and then aim for 12 reps on the last set. That's fine. We're doing the same thing. We're aiming 15 for the dumbbell bench and Romanian deadlift with throwing at the end. I don't really like reps this high generally for squats for powerlifting purpose. I think people's form tends to get a bit sloppy as you get towards 10, 12 reps, but really it's fine. Romanian deadlift, again, the reps are a little bit high, but it's not the end of the world. So it's okay. Day 2, bench press, leg press. So we're doing full body every day, basically. So next time we're going to do the dumbbell, we'll do that. Yeah, it's fine, but I don't really know why we're doing that again. Yeah, this looks okay. I'm not, to be honest. It looks like we're proportionally stronger on dumbbell overhead press than dumbbell bench. We're doing similar weights. So bench press and leg press. The reps are very high. So I can glancing ahead to next week, in which we've got the same exercises, but we're slowly putting the reps down. So it looks like we're doing a basic kind of periodization in which we're going to put the lower, as the week goes on, it's going to get heavier weight, but the reps are going to go down, presumably leading up to a 1 rep max test at the end, which is fine. I don't know how many weeks this is. It looks like to be quite a long cycle if we're starting with 12 to 15 reps, but it's not the end of the world. I don't really see the point, to be honest, in having the prescribed weights and reps for the assistance work for the dumbbell overhead press. I see that as assistance. Day 3, we're doing block pulls, which is fine, but it's the first time we're doing doing emphasis on the deadlift, I suppose, here. We have the Romanian deadlifts on day 1, but we're doing heavier here, obviously. Block pulls are one of my favorite exercises, but be careful with them because people do them very wrong. Got to make sure your form is the same. A lot of people have a different setup for block pulls, which lets them get more weight than they would from the floor anyway. We're doing incline press, and someone's messed up here because there's something wrong if you're doing bench press, doing 122.5 pounds, and then you're doing incline press for 202 pounds. There's an inconsistency there, or someone hasn't calculated properly, so that's hard to see. But yeah, it's a similar process. And then for day 4, we're doing a bed press and hack squat. It's okay. I don't like it, to be honest. I think this is a bit all over the place, and I think you're probably going to wear yourself out trying to do full body every single day, especially with these high reps. So I'm not a fan of this, to be honest. I would not recommend this, but it could work for you, but it's not the kind of thing I like to do. Sorry, I've been kind of ranting away on that, but no, I don't really like this.
No, that's all right. So that's a nice opinion Chris has given. A good breakdown of your workouts. I'll probably try and clip this all up and post it in the chat. It's probably going to be hard. We've got a new one. We don't normally get these type of questions. I'm not going to click on the video because I don't want to show or
what is that?
People. It's just a question about the what is that? It's just a question about loose skin or fat. So we can probably just generalize based on the conversation. Chris, how can you suggest people? Probably a lot common, when people are trying to cut, etc., or maybe in teenagers. How would they be able to know whether it's loose skin or fat? How would they be able to tell what are the key factors they should be looking for? And we can just generalize based on this conversation. And I'll probably move on to another question. I don't show pictures of people.
No worries. Yeah, we'll do that, especially we haven't got age verified. So generally, it's hard to tell. If you stand up and it goes, that is generally, if it's still there, it's generally fat. Skin will always fold over. And also to quickly say, no matter how lean you are, if you sit down and lean over, your body's going to have some sort of lumps or inconsistencies in your midsection anyway. Doesn't mean you're fat, doesn't mean you're anything wrong with you. That's just how people are built. That's fine. So if it's loose skin, you'll know because you'll have quite visible abs, but the skin over the top will be looser. If it's fat, it's easier to grab hold of, I guess, and skin is generally thinner. If you're worried about your having excess skin or loose skin from losing fat, it will bounce back over time. But if you've been overweight for a long time, like severely overweight generally, your body will have a bit of stretch and it will take a bit of time to go back to normal, but it will recover. It's important to stay moisturized, your moisturizer. It's important to be hydrated, but generally don't worry about it too much. No one's going to be that bothered by it. It's not going to be a big deal, and it's better to get leaner and healthier and feel better than it is to worry about those kind of things.
Perfect. Yeah, I've seen questions around this a lot. And I do have one. I've had one since I was like a teenager. Do these actually, what's your thoughts on this? I think it's like grip training equipment. Do they work? Do they increase grip strength? Do they help with forearms?
Yeah, good
and
question.
if not, what would be your alternative? This is my question.
So,
first. Yeah.
Wow, I'm just jumping ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm using my power. Right?
It's your birthday gift from me. Your birthday gift from me.
Well, no. This is just casual, right?
So, these are interesting. So, these are basically just going to be strengthening very specific muscles in your hands and forearms. So, if you train it, it's going to be like a crushing strength, okay? And that's not the same as a deadlift holding strength, because that is a holding strength that's different to a crushing strength, okay? So doing this will not necessarily make you better at holding onto your deadlifts. That's a common misconception. This will build some strength in your fingers, your hands, and your forearms. It can have some amount of hypertrophy, but you're not going to get enormous forearms just from doing this. I think they're quite cool. They're good to use if you have them. I don't have one myself. I know the Diesel crew, I don't know if they're still going or not, but they used to be really into having super strong hands. So this will generally improve your hand strength and your forearm strength. It may help you alleviate some elbow pain if you've got some bad elbow pain, just by strengthening the muscles and tendons there. But they're not going to make you a crazy deadlift strength. It will just increase the strength of your hands and forearms a bit.
Perfect. That's a solid answer. And then the user was asking, I was going to consider buying these. Do these actually help increase in forearm strength and make it veiny? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, it can increase your forearm strength. I guess if more blood flow increases what's the word for it? I've forgotten the word for it in my biologies. Yeah. Capillarization, that's the word for it. It will increase capillarization, which will make you more veiny in that way. If you want to have more veiny forearms, the best thing to do is get leaner, so you can show your veins more quickly. Also do your damn cardio.
Yeah. And also take in mind that vascularity can always be based on genetics. So, I mean, there's some people, who will be very lean in so don't get too caught up when you see someone who might be like high body fat percentage but still has like veins popping out.
One thing women love is a vascular man.
Is that Stewie from Family Guy?
Yeah,
got that reference. Right, cool. Right, next one. Right, cool. Another workout rates. Can someone rate my home workouts? Let's see if I can get this all in one page. Feedback is appreciated. I think that's all of it in one page. Can you see it, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Okay. Arms, forearms, and shoulders. 12 times. I guess we're doing reps first, then sets for this. No one's really doing sets of 3 for curls. I hope not, anyway. So dumbbell curls, yep, fine. Hammer curls, fine. Wrist curls, yep. I presume this is going to be a routine. We're doing arms, forearms, and shoulders one day. Then we're doing. Well, it's not. This isn't really a routine. This is a series of exercises. So I'm going to rate the exercises instead, because this isn't put into a proper routine, really, is it? We haven't got. If it's doing this every day, just to say, if we're doing this every day, this is far too much. So I'll rate the exercises instead, and then you can put it into a sensible split after that. So dumbbell curls, yep, they're fine. Hammer curls, good exercise. Yep, I'd always prefer to do hammer curls before bicep curls for general stability and health of your biceps, but that's just me. Wrist curls seated, that's fine. I don't really rate dumbbell wrist curls, to be honest, but they're not a bad exercise. If you want to do them, you can. I presume this is going to be wrist curls towards you. You can do reverse wrist curls as well, just to train the other side of the forearms, really. Lateral raises. Their shoulders, yes, but they don't train your upper back. They shouldn't anyway. So if you do lateral raises, you keep them strict. You shouldn't be feeling your upper back when you do lateral raises, as a disclaimer. Skull crushers, yep, they're not bad. I don't really like them at my elbows, but if you only have dumbbells, they're a good exercise. Dumbbell chest to overhead arms or something. I'm not sure what this means, chest to overhead. I can only presume it's a lying dumbbell press, like a chest press, which is fine. Everything exercises. So I presume this means more of a full body exercise. 3x12 gorilla row. It's when you lean forward. It's fine. I'd rather just see you do a general one-arm row, though, to be honest. Upper back, shoulders, and biceps. So yep, a row should be training your back, your traps, or your lats, depending on your emphasis. You'll get some rear delt involvement and some bicep, but I wouldn't be doing rows to build my biceps or shoulders. 3 times 12 high pull front raise thing. So yep, a front raise is generally with a straight arm, and an upright row is like this. I'm not the biggest fan of upright rows, but front raises are good. They're going to train the front of your delts and some traps to an extent. I'd rather you just do it for delts, to be honest. 3 times 12 farmer's carry, walk with dumbbells, a good posture. So this is the most full body everything exercise here. A farmer's carry is simply holding a dumbbell in this case in either hand and walking around. I'm not really sure how you're doing 3 sets of 12 with this, because generally you would measure that by time or by distance. But it is a good exercise. It works for full body stability. That's good. Dumbbell reverse lunge, quads, glutes, hamstrings, and hips. Yes, I do. I prefer a reverse lunge to a front lunge, to be honest. I find it better on my joints, but that's a good exercise. Dumbbell bench, pecs, triceps, and delts, yes, but primarily chest. That's good exercise. Flies for pecs, yes. A pullover bench skull crusher thing. It's like a hybrid kind of a PJR pullover, I suppose. Yep, that's good. Good stretch in the lats as well. Mind chest as well. Step ups are good. Yep. Big Ruth and ups. Chin row. Yeah, no problem. Then just body weight, squats, push-ups, planks, and heel raises. Yep, all good. Nothing wrong with the exercises. But again, these are lots of exercises, and that's not really a routine. All these exercises are generally quite good.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Chris. And yeah, Khan, we can do that. I mean, if you can help me do that. But yeah, I do try to put timestamps on like the YouTube videos, so and that's the fun part, right? So yeah, you can always yeah, cheers, mate. Really do appreciate it. Cool. Chris, do you still want to be going through forum questions, or do you want to go through some podcast text questions? Maybe we should do podcast text questions because people are
yes, pass through. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, thanks for waiting. If anybody has any voice question, you want to skip the queue, feel free to raise your hand and come up to the panel. If not, thank you very much for your patience. Make sure to check out the VOD on twitch.tv/AyoKing. And remember, it isn't strike first, it isn't strike force, it is strength first. Support Chris on all platforms, STR first. Chris, are you ready to do that? He was giggling. Are you ready to do the favorite part of the podcast? You're the most entertaining, most enjoyable.
I'm ready, guys.
Do you need a grape?
Guys,
Do you need
tag
to
me in
stretch?
questions. I've got grapes. I've had my kiwi. I'm ready to go.
Okay, let's go. There have been some questions being asked. I did see a few people, Lobsterman and Cap, helping out. So start from wherever you feel comfortable.
Okay, I see Lobster. Lobster's feeling neglected. Is he still here? If he's not here, I'll answer the question. Oh, he's here. It's good. You doing, Lobster? Okay, question. I noticed my back squat improves when I do hack squats. Why is that? Mental skill issue. So your back squat gets better when you do hack squats. Yeah, that makes sense. Hack squats are a brutal exercise. They're very good for training your quads. And generally when your quads get stronger, your squat will get stronger, as you know. Also the mental factor, yeah. I do find hack squats to be really grueling mentally. And just building that toughness can make squats seem a bit easier as well. But yeah, I do think hack squats are a great way to build up your back squat strength, especially if you have weak quads, which most people do. They just don't realize it yet. Spade, question. What's the benefit of variations on your program? So like having a pull day 1 or pull day 2? And then is it okay if you train with no variation? Right, so variations are fun, but it's more important generally for people doing stuff like powerlifting, trying to build up strength for a specific exercise. If you don't have variations of things in your routine, that's not a problem at all. People like to have variations, and they're good to have if you've got stagnant. So if you've stopped finding progress on, say, a certain grip for lat pull down, maybe with an overhand grip. If you can't progress over that for a few weeks, if you have a plateau, then it's good to have a variation like an underhand grip, just to train the muscles in a slightly different way and also to have a different target. So this is also why I like to have people switch from, say, doing a pull-up to lat pull-down, because it's a completely different perspective. So that's why I like using machines in some ways, because I've got no reference point. You just get to focus on building up the muscle on that way. So variations, you don't need to have variations within a week, but you probably want to have them over, say, a half a year or so to switch it up to change, just to build your muscle in slightly different ways. It's not important to have variations throughout a week. It's not the end of the world. For general training and muscle building, it's not that important.
Sorry to interrupt. It is okay. Actually, you missed Rin's question, but yeah, to get to that, it's time for the sponsors. Firstly, thank you to Single Len for following on Twitch. Really do appreciate it. And a huge shout out to this month's sponsor. Also sponsoring the community is How to Bank. How to Bank is pretty much a free educational course. It's a newsletter. There's a giveaway going on right now in the giveaway channel. Feel free to join it. A chance to win $25. And if you're skeptical, don't worry. I post the winners and I also announce it in podcasts as well. I would suggest everyone to join it because the more we support the sponsors, the more they sponsor us, the more we keep the ecosystem going, the more events and giveaways and fun things that we have. So it's a good opportunity. And also the resources they're providing is all completely free. It's an email newsletter. They teach a bunch of ways how you can monetize your skills through using social media. Good example, if you're a personal trainer or aspiring coach, it's an opportunity for you to understand like different methods you can use on social media to market yourself. If you're someone who wants to get into something or just learn something that you don't already know, that's also a good opportunity. And thanks for that. And sorry for the ad break. Back to the podcast. Yeah, Chris, I think you missed Rin's question. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I also signed up to that last week, so I had to enter the draw for that actually. For the sponsor, I joined that. Which question?
Wait, quick. And if Chris wins, it's not corruption. I don't plan these things because it's always awkward when the staff wins. You got to understand, right? If there's a giveaway and only like 10 people sign up, right? The chances, and if 2 of those people are staff, there's a higher chance of a staff winning. That's why people always, wait, a staff member's won. Like, guys, sign up.
Corruption.
I can't. Right, okay, continue, Chris.
No worries. So when I win, just confirm it's because it's rigged. That's why. Okay, so where are we? I don't want to miss any questions. How far do we go? Biggs will show support if he's not here anymore, but we appreciate Briggs being here. How far do I scroll? Okay, we've answered the coach one. We're going to get to all the questions. Best to become your own coach by learning online. If you can learn from a trusted coach and someone you get the right information from, that's right. However, if you have to spend years and years and years figuring out making mistakes, it's better to get a coach to jump forward a few years in training. Can anyone ask if multivitamins help in energy levels? Can't open up my mic. Okay, this is supervisor's question. If he's still here or not. Supervisor, you are here? Okay. So multivitamins can be helpful if you have a serious vitamin or mineral deficiency. Otherwise, they're not going to make you even better than normal. They'll get you up to level. They won't take you above the level. So if you do have issues with your diet, if you're not getting the right fruits and vegetables in, not getting vitamins and minerals, you're not getting in things like nuts and seeds, they can be useful to top you up, but they won't take you to the level above, if you know what I mean. So if in doubt, have multivitamins. They're not going to harm you, but they're also not going to take you to superhuman levels. When I'm not at the gym, I feel like I'm not energetic and I fall asleep and it feels like I passed out. So I would check out your general calorie levels. I'd check out your hydration and how much you're actually sleeping. Those are big ones to check out. Especially at your age. Maybe also you'd be tired anyway, being a teenager anyway, to eat more food. Lobster asks, do you know the science behind why we need more protein the lower our regime is? AKA eat more protein when cutting versus recomp versus bulk. Okay, so protein is very muscle sparing. It's also very satiating. So if you've only got a certain amount of calories to eat, if you have protein, it's going to be more filling to eat protein than it is to have carbs or fats. So that's one reason it's important to have higher proportionally protein when you're cutting, losing weight. When you're recomping or bulking, so also when your body needs more protein, the carbs are protein sparing. So if you have extra carbs or fats, they can be turned into protein. So when you're bulking, it's less important to have super high protein, but have enough, obviously. A was trying to sabotage me. I agree. Khan knows how it is. We're scrolling. Rin, question: Why hamstrings are always sore? I do 3 sets of RDLs and 3 sets of seated leg curls in a week. I don't really get sore anywhere else the way I do it in hams ever. Okay, so if this is new, you may just have poor conditioning in your hamstrings. This happens for a lot of people. So if you don't have a good level of training, they're going to get more sore for longer than other body parts until you build up that tolerance to deal with the volume. If you have it on the same day, perhaps you're training them extra hard. perhaps you're putting more effort into them. If it's still a real problem, you could try splitting up over the week if the soreness becomes a real problem. But I expect this to slowly go over time, unless you do lots of other sports or activities that involve your hamstrings a lot and they're just getting a lot of work done. But I would expect that to slow down over time. But then again, sometimes some muscle parts just respond differently to training anyway. I won't worry about it. Scrolling. Why is Chris ignoring us? You're not being an odd lobster. I'd never ignore you. We are reading the chat, yes. Do you have a question? If you've asked, I'll get to it. So, what, Chris, what are your opinions on skewed splits, i.e. PPL, in which you have multiple upper body days for every leg day for beginners? I've had other experienced lifters say they skew it on purpose for goals, but for the general beginner, what do you think the split is instead of something like upper lower? So yeah, I would agree with that. Generally, people split it for PPL or push pull legs, in which case you're training your upper body twice as much as your lower body. This is generally quite good for beginners because most people don't want to train their lower body as much, and it's much more enjoyable and more quickly rewarding to train your upper body to get, say, big biceps rather than just have big hamstrings and quads. I think for an aesthetics point of view, so if you're training purely to look good, it's a good way to go about it. I think if you're more concerned about being as strong as possible and maybe going into sort of powerlifting and things like that, something more balanced like an upper lower split is a good idea. So yeah, that's my opinion. I think also people tend to have a lower tolerance for pain and working hard for the lower body when they're new, in which case I'd probably rather you train it a bit more often, that way you can get more juice out of it and you're not as sore all the time. I think people do get in their head, oh, leg day is terrible, it's so hard. But that's because they do all the volume into, say, 1 or 2 days a week. And they wonder why they're sore for the rest of the week, whereas they're splitting the upper body volume out much more effectively. So generally, I start people on upper lower splits. I think if you want to go purely for aesthetics, into looking, as buff and upper body dominant as possible, go for a PPL. But I would rather have people who want to have a longer term career and get stronger over time. I have strength potential, I suppose, overall to do an upper lower split. Yes, lob is already over. Exactly. Tom Platt's legs are the greatest body part. Yeah, training legs, exactly. Which belt do I use? So I probably don't make it anymore. I use the same strength shop belt I bought in 2012, and it's still going quite well. It's a double prong 10mm belt. I haven't said you need to upgrade it yet. If I do upgrade it, I'm going to go for a 13mm single prong, I think. But no, my belt's been in the gym more times than most people have actually been in the gym themselves. So more experienced than most lifters here, I'd say. I think that's it. By the way,
Perfect without most of the text questions. Absolutely amazing.
I believe so. If I didn't, please tag me so I can find him.
Cool. I do have a form question. And this is from King Kong.
Yep.
I'm just sending it from my phone to myself. Oof, how risky is it to screen share from this account?
You tell me.
Right. YOLO. Right, I'll screen share from this account. Everything you see
to love.
on my account.
You know the rules, and so do I.
It's not me, it is a parody account. Any conversations I might mistakenly leak?
Yeah.
Right, Chris, can you see it? What's this guy called?
I just want to tell you how I'm feeling.
Can you guys see it? Am I sharing the correct screen? I hope I am.
And I can't see anything, that's not me.
You can't see anything? I feel like it's you. I'm just gonna download it and post it in the chat. Wait, can you see it? Or are you trolling me?
I can't see it.
You can't. Okay, you're not trolling me. Okay, I'll just send it.
Not this time.
Can everyone else see it, or is it just Chris?
Take it personally now.
All right, and then I'm just
I can
going
see
to stop
chat.
screen
It's
sharing.
fast to me.
Cool. I've posted the video
Okay,
in
someone
chat.
watching.
So Chris, feel free to review
And
his.
what am I doing
form.
with this? I'm reviewing them. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, form check. And if anybody else has
Can
any
you
other
still-
video for form check, ffeel free to
Can you
either
hear me?
send
Just
it
check.
to me
Can
or
you hear me
send
right
the
now?
link. Yeah, we
Can
can
you hear
hear
me?
you. We can hear you.
Okay, I've gone full screen, so I'm sure I can see it properly. Okay. We're starting very high. That's my first thought. So we're going obviously. So just for disclaimer, this is for a powerlifting deadlift. We're going for the absolute most weight lifted with good form. So we're going to go back again to it. So it's essentially a stiff-legged deadlift. He's starting with his hips exceptionally high, which I don't like. I would really rather see if you pause it, he's almost 90 degrees when he starts the lift, which is not good optimal. His back does stay in a reasonably good position, but you're leaving a lot of leg drive out of this. A lot of leg drive is left out. The back position is very strong. The hamstrings are strong, but I think there's a lot of weight potential here. This is essentially a stiff-legged deadlift. So I'd rather see get the hips set a bit lower, really dig into it. I'd rather see. I just want to check. I don't want this person unjustly. I feel we need to get more slack out of the bar. So at the bottom, really pull the tension up. So get the lats dug in. I want to see that shoulders probably locked down rather than back in here. So shoulders down, covering the armpits rather than in the back pocket. And I think sit a bit more vertical to start with it. I think you get a lot more drive from there. Consistent. The lockout is reasonable. He doesn't hyperextend at the top, which I like to see. Let's just watch the angle. So I'm looking here to see where his face is looking. Is the head angle good? Yeah, the head neutral position is good neutral. He's locking out the hips and the shoulders about the same time. So yeah, reasonable. It's the start position, and again, it's a stiff-legged deadlift to me rather than a regular conventional deadlift. I'd rather see a more horizontal, more vertical starting position. Big the hips, bring hips closer to the bar to start with is the most important thing there. Get tension out of the bar at the bottom, pull the slack out, hips closer to the bar, lock the shoulders down the front, cover the armpits. I think there's a lot more weight to go out that, to be honest. An extra 10, 20 kilos perhaps out of that.
Perfect. And huge shout out to King Kong, huge silent supporter of the community. He's done a lot of sponsoring and donations and all these other stuff. Dude, if you do want to ask any other questions, you can always join the podcast. I will try and clip this up and send it to you. Guys, do you have any form check videos that you want us to go through? Do you have any questions? Anything you want to debate with Chris about? Anything you want to say?
Anything you want me to rant about? Anything to complain
Neil,
about?
Neil is thinking. I think Neil has asked a question in text chat.
Okay, well, I have a question. Context of the question: exercise to tell you muscle fibers. Not really. That's not really the case. My main aim through nutrition is to speed up the process of recovery of the muscle fibers. So this used to be more prevalent of thought, but now it's not quite the consensus for muscle building. It isn't built by tearing down the muscle fibers so much. Give advice on resources which can help me out on the same. What would you do considering the first time you got the awareness nutrition? So I presume this what you mean is you want to build muscle. I'm trying to read around the context of this. I wouldn't worry too much about the actual mechanisms, the actual biology of it. It's not important that you know this. If you want to learn more about this, the few resources I can link you to. Francis Maley does some good things on this. Also, off the top of my head. Revive Stronger on Instagram is very good on this kind of stuff as well. So what I'm presuming you want to know is how to maximize muscle growth from hypertrophy training. So it means you're training hypertrophy properly, you're getting close to failure, you're doing hard sets, you're working hard to recover, having rest in between your sets. Advice on the resources which can help me get out on the same. I would check out Revive Stronger. He's one of the best coaches, I think, for nutrition and bodybuilding side of it. Yeah, Francis Malia, check out him. Check out Revive Stronger on Instagram. You can talk about Lane Norton's very intelligent as well. I like Lane Norton a lot. I guess a bit of a stick, but I think he's a very, very good nutritionist, very clever guy. And Eric Helms. Those are guys I'd check out. Eric Helms first, Lane Norton, Revive Stronger. Those are the three guys I'd check out. if you want all the nitty gritty.
Perfect. Cool. While we're waiting for Khan to come up to ask us questions, Neil, do you have any follow-up question? There we go.
My waiting was the one, sorry. I was just typing to Neil then.
Yeah,
Just
no
written
worries.
down.
I thought as much. Khan, are you here? Are you trolling here? Imagine if he doesn't come and we just wait for like 20 more minutes.
His hand's up.
We
His
have
hand is
got 5 more minutes. Hello, Khan. How you doing, dude?
Yeah, hello.
How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Here's
What have you
the
got for
link
me?
for you.
What have you got for me?
Okay, sorry. I completely forgot. I thought it was going to be a voice question, but it's a form check. Yeah, that works as well. Chris, I'm going to screen share. I hope you can see it. If not, wait. I'm having the feeling it's on you because I've shared from 2 different accounts. Let's try.
Right, let me see. It could be a me issue. Right, I'm gonna click on the link.
Okay, you click on the link. I'll just also share it here for anyone who wants to see.
Also. No, it's just me. It could just be me issue. Apologies, friends. Right. What? Right, I can understand. I don't really like the twerking at the start. I understand the trying to get in position and getting hyped for it, but I'd rather see you be more deliberate, I suppose, for that. Nice controlled eccentric. I'm gonna watch it again.
What the? Chris, why are you looking at him twerk? What's going on here? That's
I didn't send this picture.
wild.
So again, I'm going to say again, I'd rather you ditch the shoes, to be honest, as always possible. We ditch the shoes. The foot position looks good. You might want to take a slightly narrower stance and push the knees out a little bit more. So when we actually get to the starting position, it's from a good position. So this is the difference between the previous video we just reviewed and this one. He's much more upright. His hips are closer to the bar. I like this. The arms are straight down. I'm going to ask, how wide is your grip compared to your shoulders? It looks like it's a bit outside shoulder width. Is that true?
Slightly, maybe about 10 degrees below parallel.
Yeah. Okay, the back position's good to start with, but I think we need to pull more slack out of the bar at the start because there's a small moment between starting the lift and the actual bar moving, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you're almost in position, then you adjust it a little bit more. So I'd rather see more slack pull out of the bar. Your low back's very muscular and strong. I can see that from this. You're in quite an upright position, but I think you can probably dig if you pull slack out of the bar. You can get your hips a bit closer to the bar to start with, and you can from even more upright position. Are you putting your shoulder? What are you doing with your shoulder blades? Are you putting them shoulders down the front, or they go in the back? Or you're not thinking about it?
To the back.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't really think about that part.
Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. No problem. So what I like to do for conventional deadlifts, which I think makes a big difference, is to put your shoulders down in front. So I don't know if you can see me from this, but instead of putting them in the back pocket like that, forward, lock them down. So you're trying to cover, like I say, hide your armpit. So it's like you really get your lats down tight. You can get more tension on the bar, and you can really get to a strong position where you can pull the slack out of the bar at the start, and it keeps your lats locked in through the whole way. So you have a back wall round a little bit, but it's going to be a deliberate, locked-in position for powerlifting, and that's what I prefer to see. But it looks good.
see.
Your speed is good once you get going.
I have done the same
Sure.
lift from without the pads.
Mhm.
And that was tough. Definitely harder than that video.
Right. Because this is quite a smooth lifter once you get going.
Probably took about 3 seconds to get up.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's not what she said. Very controlled eccentric. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. I think if you can get more slack out and really be a bit more patient on the start, I think that's going to be quite a smooth, fast lift. Yeah, so a bit more patient at the start. Try to get your hips even closer to the bar. If you like those lats pull down in front, you can really squeeze yourself in. And like the cute, like to say, is try to wedge yourself onto the bar, and I think that can really fly when you do that. But it's a good lift.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you for sending the video.
Yeah, and thanks for the video, Khan. Really appreciate it. No days missed. The most dedicated person. You've just beat
Literally.
Army Vets Gaming. Oof.
MVP.
Sorry, Army. You had
It's pretty good. No,
let me
Viking, though.
let me
Viking,
check
though.
Twitch. Maybe I think Viking, was it last week or a couple of weeks? I need to be able to track this.
Mr.
There
Clean,
needs to be a
Mr.
way
Clean
to
here is
track it.
all the time.
Nah,
Rex
he
is always
missed
here.
last week.
Morning star.
He missed last week.
No prisoners.
There's some people that I need to keep track, but it's all right. Thank you very much, Khan. Really do appreciate it. Guys, does anybody have any last minute question? We've reached the end of the podcast. Really do appreciate everyone who stayed to the very end. Mr. Clean, Rosie, Tiny Viking, Rain, Rex, Cookie, Ao, Morningstar, well, Ao's
Ao guy.
Suna, Kun, Linear, Weebs, Funte, Randy Rowdy, and Samaria. Thank you very much, everyone. Really do appreciate it. I hope we've provided value. And huge shout out to the Silent Assassin, Cap. Hey, Cap, how you doing? Can you talk? We're going to get an exclusive Cap update.
Is he there?
Hello, did we put you to sleep?
He's gone. RIP.
Yeah, he's gone.
Replacement coming next week. Replacement coming next week.
Thanks for coming. Right, and also, in closing, thank you very much, everyone. Remember to support Chris on all platforms as he supports us. We support him as well. And Cap is typing. Let's see what Cap's going to say.
He is alive. We can kill him.
You can roast Chris for
Yeah.
lying on you. That's actually slander, which you can take to court and sue his ass. Not that I'm giving you any ideas, so but if you do,
It's on your platform, man. It's on your platform. Just saying.
Don't sue him. Okay, he's having Discord technical difficulties. To be honest, Chris, it might not even be your fault. It might just be Discord being Discord, because sometimes they do
now.
decide.
As soon as Cap doesn't work, it's not my fault, is it? I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I don't have favorites until I have favorites, right? Yeah, but Discord always wants to do like launches on Fridays, but especially if they decide to go on holidays, which is absolutely crazy.
Typical.
Right. Anyway, we don't want to bore anyone anymore. Make sure to support Chris on all platforms. STR first. So remember, it isn't Strike First. It isn't Strike Force. It is Strength First. And to catch the full VOD of the stream, it's going to be on twitch.tv/AOKing. And you can also get the full clipped and timestamp version on the YouTube. It is Effective Fitness for the main YouTube and Effective Fitness Community on the long form format. Hope you all have an amazing weekend. Take care and bye-bye. Bye.